the possibility this could get deep, this could get dark. But yeah, I am kind of playing on the words and being a smartass. Yes, I am. You can say that. Yes. Yes. So, beyond the ha 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 of it all, right? Do we innately know as a species and just never like confront it and never accept it? Like we have this underlying fundamental knowing that nothing ever works out. On a lower end, of course, there is the monthly cycle. There is the yearly cycle. You know, 10-year cycle, 100-year cycle, blah, 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 blah. Right. I mean, we could go down a nerdy-ass rabbit hole. I've already shown that we've gone down quite a few. Well, that's where usually, like, you guys go, like, this is not what I tuned in for. Bye. But is that why us particularly, we're obsessed with writing stories and seeing movies and this whole thing to satisfy this need that we know we're never going to have? Hi, Bree. I constantly come back. I constantly come back to this notion that we need a happy ending. Hi, Brooke. We need a happy ending to comfort us mentally in some way, right? Because we know everything ends. Trevor. Yeah. But is that the core of it? Like, we innately know, like, subconsciously, everything ends in a certain cycle. Mostly, for some reason, when you look it up, it's usually like a 10-year cycle. It's very weird. Most long-term relationships, 10 years. Usually that seems like what people call a lifetime these days. You know, it used to be, you used to be able to get away with a 50-year marriage once upon a time. Once upon a time. Now you look at people who are in a 50-year marriage and you look at them and they're like, is it over yet? But what, understanding this on a fundamental level, understanding this, like, at all, even not even on a fundamental, just having an idea of it can breed this idea. So what is it? Why do we as a species need to have an idea of a happy ending? I mean, a lot of people would say it's to stroke, you know, good boy, good girl, stroke the ego, right? It's like, no, I'm a good person. I deserve a happy ending. And that in and of itself is a detour, right? It's a detour from your own self-acceptance that you might not exactly be that good a person. Because God forbid, no one ever wants to hear that. No one ever wants to hear that they have to work on themselves. Somebody that took 18 months to do this shit, you know, jerk his ass for the first 6. But, you know, we really don't want to do any of this unless it's absolutely shoved in our face like, oh shit, I can't get a job unless I become a better person. Okay, I better become a better person. It's never because we just want to do it ourselves, right? There's always some kind of external force pushing us that way. So, does that mean that that's something that we will all know? Is it Arga? I hope I said that right. Is that something that we deep down will never admit to ourselves or about ourselves? That we know we're pieces of shit? Like, we know it, and we just put on this mask of, no, I'm a good person because this is what I want you to think about me. Much like we'll twist the truth and everything else, or if we break up with somebody, we'll shit on them left, right, and center, even if they might be a decent person, right? Because we want to be looked at as the victim of everything. We want to be looked at as, like, this example of what people want to be with. That's what's really seeming like to me these days. Because everybody has this need to be a prince or a princess or a king or a queen, which in today's modern age is a very fantastical sense, because how many people are actually related to royalty? Like, strongly blooded related, because we all know we're all mutts at this point. Like, we're all related to everybody else, like, literally. So what is what is the fantastical obsession about? Which is what has always brought me back to human beings are innately either 2 years old mentally or 5 years old mentally, because only 2 and 5 year olds are really sucked into that fantasy of that prince and princess aspect of life. They haven't locked into the real thing yet. We haven't ripped that wonder away from them yet, which I do respect. And any kid that can hold on to it for however long they can, bless you. Like, because the world tries to tell you very quickly what's real and what's not. So anybody that can hold on to that wonder and just that amazement, bravo to you. Bravo, because it's very hard. I spent a very long time getting back to that. For a very long time, I would have to sit at home, being in the pain that I'm in, and save up all my energy, all my strength, all my charisma, all my charm, everything else, and literally save it for work. That's why, for a long time, if you met me outside of work, there was two different versions of Dustin. Like, at work, you got the happy-go-lucky, the charming, like, hey, like, kind of thing. But, if you saw me outside of work, it would be very, I'm grumpy, I'm in pain, like, leave me the fuck alone, like, walk away, I don't want to talk, like, and it's been really that learning how to be that person all the time. But instead of saving up the energy, I just slowly go about the day with it now. I don't, and then I'm exhausted by the end of the day. No, it's a slow trickle at this point, right? It's about balance. It's about being able to lock in and be that version of yourself that you want to be all the time. And that slow drip, that slow trickle ensures that you're never anything else. Balance, discernment, intuition, all these things coming together to make sure that you don't fail again, right? Which is good, but then you have that existential, that esoteric question of, why am I even doing this in the first place? Right? if if life is truly cycles and you can never truly break out of it, then i.e. you can never really have a happy ending, right? Because if everything is cycles in life and in the universe, nothing can ever have a happy ending. You just repeat the same cycle over again, but you might not be, how would you say that? You're not playing the same character every time the movie repeats. I think that might be the easiest way to put it, actually. Right? I think at the end of the day, that might be the actual easiest way to put it, is you're reliving the same movie over and over and over again your whole life. Holy shit, I might be onto something here. But you're never playing the same character twice. Right? Goddamn, I just got chills. I think I'm onto something here. Okay, so let's expand on that then, because I think I just fucking figured something out. Like, literally right now. Okay, so if life is cycles, and you're always reliving the same movie over and over again, but you're never playing the same character, you better be fully locked in the whole time. That way every cycle is an upgrade over the last one. You gotta identify someone in that cycle, see what they did right, see what they did wrong, and then proceed doing the things you know you need to do in order to get to the place you want by the end of that cycle. Because everything repeats, right? So if the cycle's starting right now, if I get a job right now, that means like 5, 10, whatever year down the line, boom, I'm going to lose that job regardless of how good I do. Because there's always going to hit that same slump at the same point every revolution, right? Every revolution. And that's where our intuition comes into it, right? That's where our intuition comes in. Being able to not only logically identify, but having that gut reaction and trusting that gut reaction. In order to make the most efficient outcome, knowing what's going to happen.